about Israel. There's two main reasons why I think America should be spending money and keep funding
Should or
Israel.
should not?
Should. The first is that Israel is on the forefront of technology, especially with the military, since they are constantly at war. And the way I see it is that if Israel falls, God forbid, then America will be next.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. So the first thing that I would say to you is, yes, you're right. Israel has a ton of technology. Who paid for it? Okay, yeah. If I'm wondering if, like, we spent our money here, I would imagine that we could maybe fund our own technology here. Second thing is, you said that, you know, if Israel wasn't there, America would collapse. Did America not exist before 1948?
A word of warning. If America pulls the plug on Israel, God will pull the plug on us. And we're not going to let that happen.
With all my heart, I believe that God raised this country up for two things. Number one, to preach the gospel of the grace of our Lord Jesus. Number two, to protect the nation of Israel. God, please keep leadership in Washington that understands that any nation who turns its back on Israel is doomed.
Growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed.
Which is hilarious because I'm super pro-Israel, but I'm not afraid to ask questions, right? 20 hours response for the IDF to go to some of those kibbutzes. That's worthy of asking questions. Now, I said explicitly in that video clip that I went very viral that I'm not suggesting that Netanyahu did something intentionally. But here's what I am saying. Fact number one, Axios article shows that a equivalent of a council of decision makers were briefed on Friday night before the attack that there was growing chatter and activity on the Gaza border, and there was a deliberate decision not to put it on high alert. The why we don't know, the what is unmistakable. Fact number two, 1973, 50 years ago, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but you better know about this, Golda Meir was briefed by her military, and they said Egypt and Syria are about to invade. We can strike now and we can save lots of Jewish lives. And she said, do not strike, let them hit first, or else the international community will be very, very upset with us. That's 50 years ago to the date that Golda Meir made that decision. The best answer, and the one that will probably come out, is Israel got complacent. Probably. Or, one that people are not talking about, maybe Netanyahu was double-crossed within his own government. Maybe that there were spies within the spy agency. I am going to continue to ask the question. A 20-hour response in a country the size of New Jersey. That begs a big explanation. And more importantly, America is significantly underwriting the Israeli government $4 billion a year. We as American taxpayers deserve answers to this. We deserve answers. Also, if we're going to get into a regional or world war based on an intel failure, so, we pay for this. What are we buying, right? I got smeared as a Jew hater, an anti-Semite, and conspiracy theorist because I said exactly what I just said. And I refused to back down despite all the smears thrown at me because I learned during COVID. I learned when they told us that it came from a bat in the Himalayas. I learned when they told us the vaccine was safe and effective. I learned when they told us that ivermectin was horse paste, that you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government about backlash than actual Israelis do. And that's really, really weird.
An easy way to know if you are controlled. Is there somebody or something that you're not allowed to criticize?
That's right.
Simple as that. If you lived in Nazi Germany, you couldn't criticize the Nazi Party. If you lived in the Soviet Union, you couldn't criticize the Communist Party of Russia. If you live in China right now, you can't criticize the Chinese Communist Party. If you live in North Korea, you can't criticize Kim Jong-un. If you live in Cuba, you can't criticize the Cuban Communist Party. If you live in America, who can't you criticize? Who can't you criticize in America?
The Jewish lobby?
Yes.
On both sides. Right.
That's right. That tells you who controls the country. You're not. The fact that we're having this discussion and we're on the edge, all right? Everybody knows here, this is the edge.
Oh, yeah.
Why are we on the edge? Because we're touching the third rail. We're breaking the taboo. You're not allowed to discuss the power of the Israeli lobby in America.
Dave Smith is allowed to criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was overrepresented.
No, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to, though. No, you're not allowed to.
That's proof right there. They control America. That's who's controlling free speech in this country.